So lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be drafting, cutting and sewing this reversible summer top. If you find this video helpful, do well to subscribe, like and share this content with other sew lovers. If you have questions, please leave them at the comment section. So now let's begin drafting this pattern. We'll start from step 1. So here I'll be transferring my custom block to a plain paper. The step-by-step tutorial of how to draft your own custom one-piece block is on this channel. It will really help you to have a custom pattern made by you just for you. So after drafting this pattern, we'll move to step 2. So to draft this triangle bra block, I'll need two crucial measurements. One is the measurement from my shoulder to my underbust. The next measurement is the measurement from my shoulder to my nipple or shoulder to my apex. So now that I've gotten those measurements, I will just square across to indicate where those measurements are. Next, I will open the dart of my waist and use it to close the shoulder dart as seen in the video. To ensure that the front part of the pattern holes are pressed firmly without gapping, we will be reducing 3 centimeters on the nipple line, 1.5 centimeters above and 1.5 centimeters under the line. Next, we're going to connect both to the bust pan as shown in the video. Cut and join as seen. So from nipple line, step up 12 centimeters and mark as seen. On the bust, reduce 1 centimeter from both sides of the darts and connect both to the nipple line. So at the underbust line, at the side seams, move up 2 centimeters. At center front, move up also 2 centimeters and connect those lines to the underbust line, the midpoint of the underbust line. Now connect as seen to form your perfect triangle bra block. But at this point, our pattern is not totally ready. Next, we're going to cut this pattern out, place it on a plain paper, and do the necessary adjustment needed. So at this point, we'll just cut out our pattern and get it ready for the necessary adjustment we talked about. We're going to level center front and center back so that we'll know where the front part of the pattern is and where the back is. Then place it on another plain paper and at the front part extend 1 centimeter, pardon, and then blend it into our already drafted pattern. Then at the dart point, at the midpoint of each dart point, extend 0.5 centimeters. And then blend that as seen. You could use a curve ruler, but I decided to just eyeball it and just go with the flow. So at this point, our pattern is ready. We're just going to cut it out and then get to the sewing board. Cut 4 pieces of the triangle bra patterns from 2 different fabrics as seen in the video. Next, cut 2 straps of 28 centimeters. I'm using elastic straps for this. And then cut 2 long fabrics, each the length of 18 centimeters and width of 63 centimeters. So now I'm going to close that gap on all of my bra patterns. So now I'll take them to the sewing machine and sew them out of view. So now I have finished sewing it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open our pattern and place my strap at the head of the bra pattern. I'll pin them as directed and stitch them together. So I'm making it a little bit slow so that you will see what I am doing. And while you're sewing, if you're using elastic, make sure the fancy side, both of them face the side of the breast and not the center, so that it will not look like you are not a professional at what you do. So after sewing a beautiful bra pattern, we'll just flip it over and then set it aside. Bring your 2 long fabric of 2 different colors. Since the top is going to be a reversible top, this is why we need 2 different colors as of the bra too. So remember that the length is 18 centimeters and the width is 63 centimeter. This is for a size of XS and S. So the next is we're going to find the midpoint of this fabric, and then we're going to notch. So after finding the midpoint, we're going to place our bra on our pattern, both patterns matching each other, and then we pin them down. We're going to do that to both bras. And when we are done, we're going to place the other fabric matching the black on black, and then we pin them down. Take it to the sewing machine and stitch them all together. So we finished stitching our patterns together, and as you can see, we've made a lot of progress at this point. But moving along, we are going to tuck our bra pattern into both of these long lines. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to just fold my bra, tuck it inside or in between those lines, and place the hem lines on the hemline. I'll pin them. At that hemline, I'm going to leave the gap of 6 or 7 centimeters. You could do 6 to 7 or 8 centimeters. We're going to use this gap to flip over to the good side when we finish sewing. So now we'll go take it to the sewing machine and then stitch and come back. We finished stitching at this point. So we are going to flip over and show you what the front part of our pattern looks like. But not from this gap. We are going to flip over from the center back at this point. So this is how beautiful our pattern, our top is already at this point. Next, we're going to bring the both center backs together, then push the whole fabric into one end and sew as seen. So just watch carefully. It's a bit tricky because I don't want this top to have any mark, or I don't want people to see that one side is the lining or one side is the dress. I want both of sides to be worn beautifully. So we'll now take it to our sewing machine and stitch as seen. So this is what it looks like after stitching from the center back. Now we're going to look for that little gap we left there and then use it to flip our cloth to the good side. So after flipping, this is how beautiful both sides of our cloth or our top looks like. Now we're going to find that gap that we left there, and with hand stitching, we are going to sew it together so that no one would ever know that there was any space here or any place used to revert this dress. So after stitching and stitching it yourself, we finish making the pattern. So thank you so much for staying with us. I hope you make yours. And if you do, I would love to see how it turned out if you would want to share. Thank you for staying with us till this time, and catch you in the next. Cheers!